Hey there, Wargamers, Justin here, Painter, and today I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hobby/channel update. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in today. If you are new here, please alpha strike that like and subscribe button. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for having my six. Thanks for being an awesome lance mate, star mate, whatever the case may be for you. Thank you for being here and helping support what I do. That said, today I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a hobby update/channel update. So I've got some minis here. I can show you where I'm at. They're going slower than I wanted, and we're going to address a few things right now. Then we'll show the minis, and I'll show you a small commission I'm working on that's not Battletech related, but that's also pulled some of my time. So first and foremost, been trying to keep up with doing videos as best I can. We've got the tutorials cooking out right now. They're almost finished for the tutorial Turkina. That one's almost concluded. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I won't be able to do those all the time, but I'm going to try. We've been doing our Nova unboxing stuff. I got to put these in the case after I've done filming today. Still trying to do Aces content, trying to wrangle people to play battle reports when I can. I was supposed to film with John recently, and he had stuff come up, so I'm going to try and reschedule. We're hoping to get 3 games with him, which would have pushed out content, a few more weeks of content. And I've been doing my Mech Commander and Mech or Battletech playthroughs. That's been a lot of fun. I've got some unit analysis, not necessarily analysis, but I've got some videos coming up with units that I like and explain why I like a certain variant to get conversations going, so those will go up soon. But right now in my personal life, I am currently in the middle of moving. So I move at the end of this month. I'm not sure when this video will go up, but into June moving. So that's put some pressure on time and being able to film. And I won't get too much into my personal life, but if you've been watching the channel for a while, you notice my hands look a little different, particularly this one. So life change there. I'm handling that change pretty good. And then my Jeep breaks down, and it's been in the shop 3 times in a couple of week period. So that's cool. Yay. Just in time for me to get Patreon going, and then the Jeep sucks up all the extra little bit of money I've been clawing up and some. So yeah, it's been pretty stressful. And that is why one of the things I'll show you in our hobby update today, /channel update, why I've picked up some commissions to try and restock the coffers, because car repairs are no joke. So yeah, that said, I'll show you guys some of what I'm working on for the minis. I'm not sure how much progress has occurred since the last hobby update. I've still been working on my Republic of the Sphere minis. In particular, I've been slaving away on doing the cockpits or the jeweling, and then I started having to do the areas around the cockpit to tidy up areas that I've messed up. And I've realized that I want to do even more edge highlighting, because I like this slightly brighter green on the edge at the peak, and I think that really makes them pop. So now I want to do it on all these minis, because he has it and he kind of doesn't. It's not quite the same. You can notice he's a bit more subtle green. That's a bit more of a yellow green. I think that extra highlight's really going to make these pop. Do they need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. So I'm going to be doing that. And that's going to take more time. This is what happens when you start to get roped up in your minis and just lose yourself in the hobby, especially given recent events. So that's a healthy way to approach trying to let your hobby kind of let your mind wander, a little bit of escapism when life's got you down. So the majority of these have got the cockpit finished. I guess this guy didn't. This isn't the Ghost, this is the Blade, I think. I've been corrected on that, so his wasn't done yet. But I'm nearing the completion of the cockpits on these little bros. And then after I do go back for another pass on the edge highlights, then they'll be ready for basing, which I think would be pretty cool. I really like this Marauder. I think it's turned out really cool. The cockpit's it's got such a large area to play with. And I went with I don't say mono, but a single color. I guess it is technically mono, but it's multiple blues, but shades of blue instead of doing the 2-tone colors. I could have, but I really thought that the blue was just going to read really well, given everything else. And I just think that turned out pretty nice. I really dig it. So yeah, I really liked the Bushwhacker, which I guys showed you. I've got the Vixen, which does not have the cockpit done yet, and you'll notice a trend of some of the ones that don't have cockpits had really tiny ones, and I did the fun ones first. Our crab does not have its cockpit done yet either. It's a little jeweling in here. Neither does the, I think this is the Jenner. Does not have it either. His will look pretty nice, I think, once I get to it. And then we've got 2 models left here. We've got our Shadowhawk. Oh, 3 models, because there's one more in here I haven't pulled out yet. Got our Shadowhawk. Come on, that blue really makes these pop. Like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but tooting for just a second. Like, that really juxtaposed so well. Like, no blue with the blue. The blue it finishes the mini. It really does. This is a place where you guys, if you're doing minis of your own, this is the place to really have your fun. Like, you can do some freehand, but like this right here, splash of color, have some fun with that. It is a lot of fun. And then second to last, we've got the Fafnir. Yep. His cockpit was a little bit annoying. It is large, but it was a little bit annoying to get into. Plus, he's heavy because it's a metal mini, so it's heavy. And then last but not least, this is the not Nova, Supernova, I think is what it's called. I think he looks baller. He's got that real like fuselage kind of aircraft kind of vibe, and I really like that. It's super cool. Plus, he's such bright red feet, and then the look at the sphere icons really pop. It's nice. I wanted to do some kind of decal here and here, but I opted not to be consistent with my minis because a lot of them were like on the shoulders or the arms. So try to do that. I also felt like if I had a decal here and here, they'd be above each other on the same plane, and I prefer to have like on the feet and then on the side, or on the side of the like side of the fuselage and then on the feet, or the side of the feet and then on the front. So if I'd had the numbers on the side, I might have been more willing to put one here, but I just didn't want you to look head on and just see, probably look at the sphere, number two, probably look at the sphere, like front and center. I didn't want that, so that's kind of another reason. So it's a thing to consider when you're doing your minis to balance them out. So yeah, I think that's the Supernova. And that is it for my personal minis. But now I've got some commission minis I'm working on here for Enemy Spotted Studios, a game called In Country. Julian, I think he is the owner of the company or the game or both, and we've been producing minis for him. His designs we've been manufacturing for him, and he needed some commission work done. His commission artists have been busy, I think. Real life stuff came up, so he had some openings, and I picked up this project for some extra cash. If it works out well, I might do more. So you might see some of my minis for another minis company, or some of my work for another minis company show up. So these guys are some Russian dudes from their game. This one's a bit more of a stereotype with the tracksuit. I got the thumbs up. He said he loved the idea, so we freehanded some Adidas logos. I think it's absolutely trolly, but it's very funny. Obviously, his head's not done yet. These are work in progress, but I think they're really, really cool. They're very small relative to a mech, like, size of a commando-ish. But the details are super tiny, so it's taking getting used to. It's a little similar to Infinity for scale, but Infinity stuff I feel is a little bigger, so it's easier to get to. So these have been a little tricky, but it's still been fun nonetheless. So that's one of the guys. He was the one in the civilian clothes, and we've got the other 3 kind of in operator clothing. This one doesn't have his hoodie done yet, but I was working on the OD green like kit, so his backpack, his pants. And on camera it looks a lot better than it does in person. I was really worried about it. He wanted high contrast, and I was really trying hard to make these look good. These are going to be like display minis or photography minis, and I hope I didn't go above and beyond. Above and beyond's good, but I hope I didn't do more than what he wanted for the budget. So we'll see what he says, but I think they're cool. And I left the 2 cooler ones for last, so he wanted someone, could have like a blue shirt or something. So we got a blue shirt, red hat, and he's got more of a tan kit going on. I have not got to his skin tones. Obviously these aren't finished, so don't judge me because I missed some details. They're not done yet. But very cool. And the attention to detail in this, I know this is not Battletech, but it's minis. So like real life, he's got his holster and it sits up high. You'll see some drop leg stuff, which is fine, but a lot of the gun guys that you watch do stuff, this sits really high. And there's a reason for that. So like when you're running, your gun's not sitting way low, it's not getting caught on as much stuff, and it's right there, easy access. So that's actually pretty practical. And then he's got his dump bag that's practical, so you don't lose your mags. Almost every one of them's got a med kit somewhere on them. This one's off to the right, but a lot of times it's center of their belt. That is very common. That's a real thing. I watch quite a few like gun tubers that do shooting stuff. This is maybe relevant to you guys, but I watch like Lucas Bodkin from T-Rex Arms. I don't know if you guys are into any of this, but I do. Warrior Post Society. I used to watch James Yeager from Tactical Response and a bunch of other shooters because I find this fascinating. So going into painting minis for a game that is owned by veterans, trying to do like, you know, veteran stuff in a minis game, the attention to detail that I've seen them put into these minis relative to what I've seen in videos and from instructors and stuff like that, like, is very cool. They've got a lot of the things done very nicely. The attention to detail is there, and I really appreciate it. So this is one of my favorite minis. He looks cool. And with this, I'll say this on this guy before I move on. The first thing I noticed on this mini was if you look at the way he's walking. Now, it seems normal, but one of the things that they do, if you ever watch GunTuber talk about shooting and moving, you roll your feet, and it helps keep you kind of level. If you're hauling ass sprinting, and you're not doing any, watching your footwork, you might have a tendency to like bob. And they've got this guy literally doing this where he's like, he's got his like heel and he's rolling it. And it keeps you kind of like fluid versus like which, you could be running, but like that right there is a thing you will see people do that are doing like operator stuff. And like I saw that when I grabbed the mini from Austin. I was like, yo, Austin, this is a real thing. That is a very small detail, but it's a real thing. It's very cool. So yeah, if you're into this kind of stuff, check out Enemy Spotted Studios. They've got Kill Wager is a game, and then I'm not sure much about it. I just know the minis, and then we've got In Country. And they got a bunch of cool minis we're doing. I like these because they look more like civilian sorta operators, even though there's the Russian forces for them. But they've got a bunch of dudes like U.S. operators, Marines, whatever, UN forces. Like their minis look really cool. So, and all pretty realistic. So, but this one's probably my favorite. I really love the pose. It's really cool. The backpack is really nice. Again, we got the IFAK here, which is pretty dope. It's a really cool looking mini. He's got Ear Pro that looks a lot like ear protection that I've got in the closet. It's very cool. Yeah, so I still got some details to do on them. I still got to do the faces. I need to do the Kim lights and base them. But this guy is probably the closest to being finished. And I really think he looks really cool. I'm really hoping Julian likes it. And hopefully I come in and finish these within a reasonable amount of time relative to the budget so that it's practical for me to do more. And that'll help offset my bills for my car repairs. So yeah. Anyway. That's what I'm working on. Commission stuff, that's why I've not gotten as much progress in on my Republic of the Sphere minis, because I've been painting these for Julian. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, life changes, car repairs, and moving. So had a lot going on right now that's gotten in the way of painting and filming as fast as I want. But this is what I'm working on, and big shout out as we finish here to all the people who signed up for Patreon recently. We don't have a lot, but we're a little over 10 people now, I think, which is pretty awesome. Every little bit does help. So for you guys who have been helping, thank you. And for those of you who maybe can't contribute to Patreon, but continue to watch and view and like and comment, that is also equally helpful. The channel's slowly growing, but it is growing. I keep an eye on the analytics. I try and keep a consistent schedule. I try to engage with you guys as much as I can when I have time. Lately, I've not been able to comment as much because, again, time. But you guys have also been helpful too. So, again, everyone who's helped me help support what I'm doing, thank you. You're helping the channel grow. And hopefully we'll have some big news later if the stuff that we're in meetings about for content creation pans out. If it doesn't, then I won't talk about it again. If it does, you'll hear me make some announcements on the channel. So that said, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hope that you enjoyed the hobby update. Hopefully we'll have these Republic of the Sphere minis on the channel soon, and hopefully we'll have some good finished photos of these I can show off to you guys soon as well. That said, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Appreciate you being here supporting what I do. Appreciate you letting me share this with you, because it's a cathartic release for me as well to help me relax given the stressful things that are going on. So yeah. As always, keep painting your models, keep rolling your dice, folks, and I will catch you guys next time. If you guys are still sitting here watching this, let's take a moment to put a pop-up here to showcase those wonderful Patreon supporters here. We'll let that scroll here, and thank you so much for supporting what I do. That's super awesome. I really do appreciate that.